Welcome to the Sydney Cricket Ground for today's major preliminary semi-final between the number 2 team, Balmain, and number 3 club, Canterbury Bankstown. The winners today earn the right to challenge minor premiers St George next Sunday in the major semi-final. The loser will oppose yesterday's winner, Parramatta, next Saturday in the minor semi-final. It was in April at Leichhardt when they met in the first round. The Bulldogs won by 2 points in one of the best games of rugby league this season. But the Tigers reversed that decision at Belmore in July when they met in the second round. And in that match, Balmain were without Wayne Pearce, Jack, Roach and Elias, who were in New Zealand with the Test side. The Tigers team line-up today is Jack, Davidson, Conlan, Schofield, Gardner, Bridge, Gale, Pearce, Hardwick, Brooks, Roach, Elias and Marquito. The Bulldogs line-up, Potter, Mullane, Farah, Chris and Peter Mortimer, Terry Lamb, Steve Mortimer, Langmack, Batiste, Gillespie, Kelly, Johnston and Tunks. And the referee for this great challenge is Mick Stone.
That's Canterbury running from right to left. Gary Jack, first touch of the ball for the Tigers. Tunks there together with Kelly making the tackle and Johnston getting in for his share. Pearce taken solidly by the second row for Canterbury, Gillespie.
Canterbury have got some of the strongest hitters in the game, and I expect to see some tremendous one-on-one confrontations here in the opening minutes between the forwards.
Breeze at the back of Balmain in the first half. It's not as strong as it has been, but it's coming down from the opposite end of the ground, the Paddington end. And here's Potter tackle by Hardwick. Back in the sides these days for Balmain, following their thrashing a couple of weeks ago. Ross Conlan putting 2 tackles back to back. Andrew Farah to play it. Here's Tunks. Brooks making the tackle with Roach and Elias, and a penalty. So he's got Roach. The NEC replay of it. Massive bodies there, but apparently Roach got a shot in. Here's Graeme Hughes on the sidelines with Don Furner, Canberra coach.
Donny, 2 of the biggest packs going around, which is always going to be a tough one.
I'm glad I'm sitting out here, Graeme, because it's very hard hits those first couple of minutes there, and both sides are intent on softening one another up.
Which way are you going to lean?
I lean towards Canterbury. They've been consistent in this sort of finals and sort of an atmosphere like this. I think so. It'll suit Canterbury, and I tip them to win.
Balmain to rely on their backs?
Well, they'll have to, but against that sort of defence, I don't think it'll be very effective.
Thanks, Donny.
And as Don Furner was talking to Graeme Hughes, Canterbury Bankstown took a tap and kicked the ball immediately to Balmain, so it's obvious what they want. They want to give Balmain the ball and get as much strong defence into them as possible early in the game.
Ball played by Roach, who got up to play it with a big smile on his face, and here's a penalty against Canterbury. They might be enthusiastic in wanting to hand it out to Balmain in defence, but they were over-enthusiastic that time. Well, I've told you the breeze is coming out of the Paddington end. It's quite a strong breeze, but as I said earlier, not as strong as it has been in recent matches we've done here, but it's coming from that opposite end of the ground, the Paddington end or the Bradman stand end. Conlan got it away nicely. It's a goal. Balmain draws first blood. They lead 2-0 over Canterbury in this NEC semi-final. It's not a knock-on. Gary Jack.
Greg Mullane was selected on the wing for Canterbury Bankstown, but he's not fulfilling that role. He's moved into the centre spot in defence, and Andrew Farah has gone onto the wing. So So the tactics there are obvious. Mullane's an outstanding defender, and he's going to read the Balmain attack well, and you'll find that he'll move in to try to chop off with ball and all tackles.
Kick coming off the foot of Gary Bridge. Good long kick. And Michael Potter goes back with it. Schofield makes the tackle with Brooks coming over the top. Peter Mortimer going across the ground. Scott Gale making the tackle. This is Greg Mullane now. Play 10 metres on the Canterbury side at halfway. Kelly. Keto and Roach and Elias making the tackle. And Steve Mortimer. Terry Lamb. 5 tackles gone now for Canterbury. Mortimer. Kick going down and is going to find touch. So the scrum will go down about 15 metres out from the Balmain line. There's the NEC replay of Mortimer's kick. We come back now to his opposite number working the scrum, Scott Gale. Pierce. Good tackle by Kelly. Oh, Makito ran into a Bobby Dazzler tackle from Gillespie.
Gillespie's a tremendous front-on defender. He came into the Canterbury Bankstown team midway through the season, but he's certainly justified Warren Ryan's faith in him.
Penalty to Balmain. He's penalised Terry Lamb, who was on the ground, and he persisted in clutching at the Balmain jumper of Benny Elias. This is the incident. Didn't quite come up as conspicuously there, as obviously it did to referee Stone. This is Gary Bridge, a vital part of this Balmain team, in my opinion. Here's Potter. And Gale makes a bootlace tackle. Brooks comes over the top. 9 metres out from the Canterbury line. This is Andrew Farrer. Tackled by Kevin Hardwick.
Okay.
Conlan coming in later.
Hello.
Here's Kelly. He's got the habit of cocking that forearm. He cocks it vertically, if I can put it that way. The hand is in the air, the elbow is immediately below it. It's not in the mould of what you might say running with a cocked elbow where it's horizontal to the ground. But nevertheless, he's using it as a protector. This is Gary Jack, and now it's Russell Gardner. Gardner high flying inside the 22. Outside for Gary Schofield. He's picked up a try. The try-scoring wizard, this fellow, Gary Schofield. You don't have to be reminded of it. Look at the jubilation on the Tigers. And I guess some of them are saying, and they said we couldn't handle the big time. They'll handle the big time. Don't worry about that.
Well, this is the try that Balmain coach Frank Stanton would have been looking for early in the match. And it all started with the Australian fullback, Gary Jack. He popped up a pass in a tackle. We can see a tremendous passing movement here between the 2 outside backs. Gardner, he read the play well. He called the loop around from the English centre three-quarter Schofield, and he did the rest.
Here it is again. Gary Jack. Low down action shot of the Australian fullback, and he started it all. Russ Gardner, given a second life really by Balmain coach Frank Stanton. And then Gary Schofield, the Englishman who's turned out to be a try-scoring wizard. Well, what a tremendous Australian season he's had, this fellow. Conlan on a cute angle. 8 metres in, 22 out. He's missed it, I think. Yes, he's missed it. Just across the face of them. So no change. 6-0. Balmain leading Canterbury, the NEC semi-final from the cricket ground. There's a loose arm on the scrum. It's a Balmain arm. It'll be a penalty. It's gone to Balmain. Well, he's pinched Mortimer for pulling the ball out of the scrum. You can see Benny Elias's arm in the tunnel. And the penalty has gone to Balmain, differential. Lady Luck, in my opinion, has smiled graciously on Balmain on this occasion. Davidson tackled by Kelly.
I think we might see one of Balmain's special moves coming up shortly. Frank Stanton's a coach that likes to employ a lot of set plays, and these are the sorts of field positions where he's got an opportunity to display them.
This Rhodes now. Gale, Pearce. 7 or 8 metres out from the line. They'll want to get off him in a moment. Elias across to Gale, holds it, jinks it, goes back off the left foot. 5 gone. Gary Bridge is the playmaker. He's behind the play the ball. Chris Mortimer taking it, and he's heading for the dead ball line. Line drop out to restart it. Neat little kick on the NEC replay from Gary Bridge, but Chris Mortimer read the play. Kick by Terry Lamb. Kevin Hardwick running like a front rower. Bridge. There's plenty to like about what Balmain are doing at the moment. Gale. Brooks. 5 metres out from the line. He had Jack steaming off him. Gale. Bridge. Marquito. Inside, it's play on for Schofield. Oh, he's only 3 blades of grass short of the line. 5 tackles gone. Hardwick to dummy half. Gale. Up it goes. Looks too deep from here. It is. Out to the 22 for the place kick. A little bit of breeze behind Scott Gale, probably making a bomb like that a little bit difficult, particularly running towards the Randwick end today. Schofield fell only a matter of inches short of scoring his 2nd try in the semi-final. Kelly.
And Canterbury now get some respite because they were under all sorts of pressure by Balmain. Canterbury have played virtually the whole of this match, and that's been 15 minutes inside their own quarter.
Farah taken by Gartner now. Here's Potter getting away from dummy half. He's away from Hardwick. Tackled by Schofield. This is Brian Batiste. Gillespie. The breeze has stiffened up a bit there, Graeme.
Well, Ray certainly has. Great chance for Balmain now to really ram home this advantage in the first half. Another mistake from Canterbury forced into their own area. I heard you mention from Gale's bomb that he had a little breeze behind him. It is exceptionally strong now.
All righty. Well, Graeme, of course, is reading it with much more authority than I. He's sitting in the teeth of it. Gale to serve this scrum. And it's out the same tunnel. Feet all over the place. Penalty to Canterbury. And he's got the Balmain hooker for feet across. It's a good trick if you could work it out. "15 metres into the Balmain half. This tap will be taken by Billy Johnston. And here's Peter Tunks. Another good tackle there. Marquito. Wayne Mack. 6-0 in favour of Balmain. Canterbury's penalty. It's against Roach. Well, Roach has gone to the bin now. Well, that's absolutely stupid, Stephen. Ridiculous. nothing you can do by arguing with the referee other than to bring what you've got 5 minutes in the bin. It's bad enough giving a penalty right in front. Let alone going on with it. You can't beat him. He's got the whistle. 5 in the bin. There's the sign on the Diamond Vision screen. Kick, it's on a low trajectory. He's missed it, eh? Oh. He probably had that wind on his mind. 6-0 Balmain, that's the score. The NEC semi-final. Oh dear. He's called the knock-on Andrew Farah. Here's the replay of Andrew Farah's knock-on. The blind side, picked up by his opposite number. So Balmain playing with 12 men now. Pearce. We'll keep a check on Steve Roach. He's got 3 minutes to go. Here's Marquito crawling over the ground. Pearce. Rothman's medal winner for 1985. Through the Bridge. Again, Bridge uses the chip. Potter's coming across with Peter Mortimer. Gardner got within an inch of it. A bad bounce for all concerned. Bridge again with great precision, causing tremendous concern for the Canterbury players involved there. Steve Mortimer, the little general. Farah taking the line drop out this time. I'm bloated if I know why he didn't take the previous one. Gary Jack out and around. He's got clear space. Mortimer in cover. Great tackle. Heavens above, Gary Jack highlighted a deficiency in the Canterbury defence out wide.
Balmain are doing them for pace at every opportunity.
Gary Bridges stretched it back to the other side. Gardner goes infield. He picks up Big Marquito. It's gone back and Wayne Pearce dives over. I guess yes, it is Wayne Pearce. But the touch judge has got something to say to his referee. No try. Well, what's going on here? Here's Marquito getting a great pass away to Pearce. And Pearce lunges at the line. I don't think he got it down, you know, looking at that replay.
And that's exactly what the referees ruled. It's a 5-metre scrum, so he was held up in goal.
I must admit, looking at the referee, originally he looked like he was going to give it. And then he talked to his touch judge, which he's entitled to do. And the touch judges talked him out of it.
I still think that Balmain butchered that one.
6-0 Balmain. Mortimer. He must be a worried Canterbury captain, though. Gary Jack earlier there, look, 60-second back. Open Canterbury, up out wide. Graeme Hughes as an old Bulldog, that must worry you.
Well, it certainly does, Ray. On both occasions, he spotted a weakness in the Canterbury defence. The weakness is there's David Gillespie. We all know him as a great straight-on defender, but Gary's easily got him with pace and he's beaten him on the outside on both occasions. Surely there should be a centre out in the back line there supporting Gillespie and following those kicks up.
And talking of Gillespie, here he is tackled now. Roach has gone back onto the field. 5 minutes up for Roach. And here's Mortimer kicking down the ground. Gary Jack going back for it. Oh, Jack's been carving them up. You'd be thinking twice about kicking the ball to him. He's tackled inside the 22 now. Well, you're loath, aren't you, to suggest that a player is not injured, but I just tend to think that Jack has taken out a breather space to get his players back organised to launch their attack on the next 5 tackles. It's an interesting statistic. 8 times Canterbury have missed tackles, Balmain 3. Brooks. Well, if Canterbury came out breathing fire and throwing on the big hits, I tell you what, Brooks has met them tackle for tackle. He's lost the ball there, though. Arms in the scrum. Mortimer tackle with the ball. Now Batiste. Kelly. Mortimer. Lamb. Chris Mortimer. Farah. Whoop. Good tackle by Gale underneath, and Pearce came over the top. Might have steadied Farah just a little bit. 5 gone for Canterbury. Mortimer will probably bomb. No, he swings it across for Terry Lamb to do the job. It's a chip into the corner, the Paddington Hill corner, but Gale is there to cover it up. And Langmack comes in over the top. I guess the last time these two players met in such an important match would be a Holy Cross Ride versus Fairfield Patrician match at Leichhardt in an Amco Shield final. It was a Commonwealth Bank match. And they screamed at him, come on, there's nothing wrong with you. But of course, I suppose Canterbury would be the last to complain about tactics like these. Roach. Akito. Brooks.
I don't expect us to see Balmain play the game for too long down in this area, and they've looked to kick straight away, but they're either going to kick the ball and clear or spread the ball quickly out along their back line, and that's where they're having a lot of success.
Oh, look at Gary Jack. He put the kick up, he followed it downfield, took it on the bounce. Everybody was standing around wondering what tactic they might apply next. And here's Benny Elias kicking now, and he's lost it. Peter Tunks, that is, and Kevin Hardwick has got it. So Balmain has come up with 6 tackles, and you can put all that down to, oh, gee, Davidson. If he had have caught that ball, he would have certainly taken play deep inside the 22 line. We've seen up. Goes Hagan on. Tunks is coming off. 6-0 then in favour of Balmain over Canterbury. Bridge, Gale. This is Marquito. Strong tackle over the top by Paul Langmack. Hagan was underneath.
I suppose the restructuring of this scrum is going to be that Terry Lamb will move into lock and Hagan to 5'8".
Hardwick plays it on the halfway. Here's Gale, Bridge, again kicking and turning them around, but it's gone out on the full, so the scrum will go down just on the Balmain side of halfway. Mortimer. Well read by Wayne Pearce. Hagan. Bridge up the top, Hardwick down below. Batiste. Oh, he's made a mistake, Brian. Cleaned up by Paul Langmack. Blood around the face there of Brian Batiste. He's going to be playing the near side prop position now. Gardner in at 5/8 for Balmain. It's a penalty to the Tigers. To go in the first half as Gale takes the line finder. Gardner. Makito to Brooks, and a short ball for Gary Jack, and he's almost through. Desperate tackle there by Terry Lamb. Roach, Hardwick, Bridge. Coming up in waves of 2 and 3, Balmain. Just short passes, probing for the opening. Canterbury's ball. And Langmack is hurt. Kelly heading for the ground, and that's an illegal tackle. Well, full marks to Mike Stone for giving a penalty there. There's no need for that. You can hurt a man with a good, solid, legitimate tackle. There's no need to be picking up and spearing him into the ground head first. It's not helping anybody, least of all the game. Batiste. 8 metres his side of the halfway. Whoops, they thought about it again, would you believe? A little bit of discipline crept into the Balmain defence then. Lamb. Straight under and through. Tackled by David Brooks. Mortimer. Got under the tackle of Makito, and Andrew Farrer's centre kicks. This could be a try. No, Gale's there to clean it up. So they let Steve Mortimer tiptoe around. He was doing all the dancing, and then the kick from Farrer seemed to come off the knee of Gale. It was meant for the centre of the ground. But a line drop out to restart. A vital period of the match here for Balmain. They're leading 6-0. And just 3.5 minutes to go.
It certainly is a vital period of the game. They wouldn't be totally happy with their 6-0 lead with this breeze, and it's amazing how a team, when they're say 50 to 60 metres out from the opposition try line, can't get anything going. But Canterbury Bankstown now, they've got a smell of the try line. They'll be able to take this hit up about 30 metres out from the Balmain line, and they'll certainly have their nose to the grindstone and be looking to post points just before half-time.
Benny Elias raking for the ball in the play-the-ball contest. He came up with it. Gary Jack runs it.
An unforgivable mistake by Canterbury. You know that Benny Elias is going to strike for the ball and to play the ball. Knowing that, how would you let him take it off you?
Here's Davidson. And to compound the whole thing, every time Gary Jack seems to get the ball, he runs 30 yards. Meters, to put it correctly. Here's Roach. Makito. They've got problems, the Bulldogs.
Like a fly on the wall in the dressing room.
Gary Jack. Again, a concentrated attempt at check.
Played that and let it go out over the side. Farrer could have simply let the ball go and got the feed from the scrum, and he's played at the ball, and that's going to give Balmain the feed and the loose head with 2 minutes to go.
Checking with his touch judge. He agrees it came off Farrer. Balmain winning the scrum quite predictably, and Gartner at 5'8". It's a change in plans. Where's Bridges going out to the wing for the scrums? Now it's out to Conlan. Conlan turning it inside for Wayne Pearce. Andrew Farrell have nightmares if Balmain happens to score a try on this set of 6.
That ploy of moving into the 5...
Oh, what a pass by Elias!
Moving Gartner to the 5'8 positions from scrums could just be indicative of the fact that Stanton knows he's got the advantage in pace, and Gartner might be able to create the overlap by running wide.
Canterbury comes up with the ball. Led by David Gillespie. This is Steve Mortimer.
Oh, they're going nowhere, the Bulldogs.
Steve Folks, Peter Tunks now watching the game from the grandstand. This is Brian Batiste. Mortimer, Hagan. Defence getting up very quickly from Balmain. Mortimer. His kick going out on the full. So here's another scrum inside their 22. It'll barely have time to pack. There's 35 seconds to go. They'll go straight into a bombing situation here if they win it, and they should.
Or a field goal.
Maybe so. Well, I don't think they get enough room to have a shot at the drop goal, but it's a penalty to Canterbury anyways.
The best laid plans.
With mice, men and commentators. Canterbury haven't played the first half at all well, but you know, they're going to be fairly happy, I would think, with the scoreline, remembering that Graeme has told us this wind has gusted up.
There's some solace in the scoreline, the fact they're still in the match. You couldn't write them off, but they've got no credits at all on the way they've played. That's got to be a worry.
So there's the half-time score, the siren having sounded. Balmain 6, Canterbury no score, and a half-time comment from Graeme Hughes.
Well, Ray, Canterbury consider themselves the lucky side in this first half. Lucky because they're only just 6 points behind. They really should be behind by, say, 12 or 18 points. And this match is going to be gone in the second half if the Bulldogs can't plug up the defence out wide, where Balmain, very simply, have too much pace for them.
On a beautiful day in Sydney again, welcome back to the Sydney Cricket Ground, the home of rugby league and the home of the semi-final final series. In today's match, Balmain and Canterbury. Balmain leading 6-0, and there's their tackle count, 97. Brooks with 17, doesn't surprise me with his heading that count at the moment. And there's the Canterbury list. Terry Lamb with 12. Of course, he moved into the lock position about 2/3 of the way through the first half. 17 for Peter Tunks, and of course he's been replaced. 6-0 there. Canterbury with the breeze in the second half. Conlan booting it down to Terry Lamb. Tackle made by Davidson. Peter Tunks, as I just said, left the field about 2/3 of the way through the first half. His place was taken by Michael Hagan indirectly, and Terry Lamb went back to lock. Batiste to the front row, and Graham's with Peter Tunks right now.
Peter, plenty of problems out wide.
Yeah, Graeme, you know, a couple of times Gary Jack caused a few problems for us out there. Yeah, we've seen a bit of a problem with that there. I think Frank Stanton's tactics are pretty good.
That wind is very deceptive, though. That's certainly a great advantage of Balmain in that first half.
Yeah, the wind's very, very strong out there. It swirls around a little bit, but it's very, very strong.
Peter Tunks still struggling with match fitness.
Oh, yeah, mate, I'm a bit short of match fitness now. That was the original plan, to go out for the first 30 and just see how it went. But, we got a few problems in the first half there, but hopefully we'll have sorted them out now with Warren. He's led the game fairly well, and we'll try and set things straight in the second half.
Okay, thanks, Pete.
Thanks, mate.
Here's Davidson now tackled about 10 metres into Canterbury's area. It came from a Chris Mortimer kick down the ground, but he was pressured. And Balmain have done well to come up with the ball here. Look at Benny Elias taking it back towards the 22 line. Good gain in ground from dummy half for Elias. A long ball to Gale. It's gone to Bridge. Now to Conlan. Conlan. Jack's inside 32 and 22. Potter's coming across. And he gets the ball back for Schofield. But Peter Mortimer dives on it. was the replay of Gary Jack being put into an opening by Ross Conlan. So it's Canterbury now rucking this ball out.
I thought that Gary Jack made a bad option there. He could have passed earlier with a great opportunity for a try, but he decided to take the Canterbury Bankstown fullback Michael Potter on. And when he went around him, that was the time not to pass. He should have then just held onto the ball and let Balmain work from that position 5 metres out. As it is, he's given the ball up to Canterbury, and now they've got all pressure off.
Chris Mortimer getting his kick in. Elias went in for the charge down to try and put the pressure on. And here's John Davidson now letting the ball go over the touchline. So Scott Gale will feed this scrum. Won by Elias. It's gone out. Conlan, Greg Mullane coming up very quickly. Good run by the medal winner.
Very strong, isn't he, Wayne Pearce? He's able to lift his legs through weak tackles and just pull through, and it causes other defenders to come in and have to finish him off.
Now it's with Gale. Here's a penalty. Oh dear. There's a penalty against Canterbury inside the 5. Now into the wind. I don't know that Ross Conlan would want to take this kick.
He's having a look at it.
My word, he is. He's gone up like a very keen surveyor. He's having a look at the scene. What do you reckon, Graeme?
Well, Ray, whether he's going to put this ball dead or not is another thing. You've just got to go for it. 6-0 on the scoreboard, and this could be the match winner.
This would be, it's almost a 50-metre kick under normal conditions, but considering this breeze, I'd say it'd almost make it a 60-metre kick. He'd have to put that much effort into it to get the distance.
I made a comment the first match we did with Balmain, and thank goodness it's not in hindsight, but I thought he might kick them into a semi-final position, but he didn't really have to do that. There's been so many good players around him, and there's his kick. It hasn't got the length. It's dropping well short. But I'll tell you one thing, if Conlan gets out there on grand final day, I'd rather have him with you than again you. 6-0, Balmain leading. Langmack now tackled about 5 metres inside the 22. Another team change coming, Graeme?
Well, Ray, I think there might be. Steve Folkes, of course, is a fresh replacement. He's been sitting there waiting on the bench. Originally, I thought he was going to go on earlier for Peter Tunks. This time, I would say he'd be going on for Brian Batiste.
Conlan almost getting a hand to that ball. Well, he got a hand to it, but he wasn't able to control it. And Andrew Farrer comes up on the first tackle.
Just wondering, don't know if Graeme can tell us or not, but why would you make the change 4 minutes into the second half? Why wouldn't you have made that change at half-time?
Here's Langmack. Mortimer sweeping it back to the blind side for Hagan. Hagan, good football. Here's Michael Potter. Inside, here come the Bulldogs. From Billy Johnson, it's gone to Stevie Mortimer. Back for Terry Lamb, and Canterbury scores. 75-metre try. Great stuff by Canterbury. Terry Lamb, the try scorer.
And you can see here why Terry Lamb's known as the best person, the best backer-upper in football. It was the initial break here, made by Canterbury Bankstown in the form of Michael.
Brian Batiste. There goes Brian Batiste now. Lamb hits it sweetly, and he's got it. Good kick by Terry Lamb.
convert his own try. Canterbury and Balmain, 6-all now.
Potter back near his own goal line. Now it's Andrew Farrer. Away from Davidson, inside Benny Elias. Scott Gale makes the tackle. Just outside the 32-metre line. There's Steve Mortimer. Kelly. Mortimer with the kick and chase, and it's a penalty to Canterbury. Let's have a look at it on the replay. Oh, it's a trip. Attempted trip by Steve Roach. So Terry Lamb is going to take the kick for goal. Another replacement coming on, this time for Balmain.
John Owens on the sideline at 21 for Balmain. Ray just loosening up at this stage. They're just doing a check on Kevin Hardwick.
1 from 1 for Terry Lamb as he attempts penalty goal now. Almost in the centre of the ground. 12 metres into Balmain's area. Hits it nicely. It's getting away a touch, but he's got it. Another goal for Terry Lamb. Canterbury 8, Balmain 6.
The genius of Alan Alda gives you the 4 seasons, the heartwarming.
Well, now we're about to find out what Balmain are made of. It must have been a real kick in the teeth for them to see in the first 12 minutes of this second half. Canterbury Bankstown first, they get back to level pegging with them, and now after that goal they've hit the front. It'll take a good team to get back and win this one, but it's not beyond the Tigers.
Steve Mortimer. He's very much aware of the fact that he's got this strong wind at his back now. And there's his kick, finding touch, 5 metres out from the line.
That's an example of what can happen at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The ground runs away from the cricket pitch area and it's very hard, and once the ball starts to get a roll on, it takes a tremendous roll, and of course there's very little the wingers and fullback can do to stop it.
Jack. Tito. Benny Elias. In the 10, playing front row now. Mortimer, Hagan. Steve Oakes. Potter's kick will find touch. 15 metres away from the Tigers line. Scrums 6-4 to Balmain. Penalties 8-7 to Canterbury. sideline line. Gary Bridge. Gartner. Roach. Marquito. Now the kick should come, although Marquito is unable to play the ball. Gary Bridge bouncing infield for Potter. And Russell Gartner came down the ground. He was behind the kicker. Peter Mortimer. Folks. Mortimer dropping it onto that boot of his, but this time it's out on the full. Tackle that by Paul Langmack on his much more illustrious opposite number. It hurt Pearce too, that tackle from Langmack. He's got a split under his right eye. Gale. Yes, he's found touch very close to the Canterbury line, but it's a Canterbury loose head and feed. The NEC replay of the Scott Gale kick. Michael Potter not worrying about it at all. Fed and won by Canterbury. There's Mortimer tackled by Pearce. That's Potter. Down by Benny Elias. Hagan. Chris Mortimer. Jolting tackle by Conlan. And Conlan puts two together, but it's a penalty against the markers. Quarters of the game gone. Andrew Farrar just clutching at that right arm of his. Checking that eye of Wayne Pearce. I think they're going to bring him off.
Of course, it was an eye injury a couple of years ago that almost put Wayne Pearce out of football, so anything in that area would be of real concern to him and his coach.
Well, they're going to replace him. Canterbury making hay while the sun shines. Still going. Kelly. Played by Gillespie. Jack able to get back into the field of play. Well, Billy Kane's gone on for Wayne Pearce. Kane is wearing jumper 25. What's the story on Wayne Pearce, Graeme?
Well, I managed a quick chat with Wayne as I was trying to rush him off into the dressing room. He claimed that it was his good eye, and in fact that he copped a very heavy tackle from Paul Langmack, I think you called it. His head collided with that hard cricket pitch area, and he said he was suffering from blurred vision, but he did reiterate to me that it was in his good eye.
Colin McCulloch.
Been out there for an age, John, but as yet not used. It was for this fellow, Hardwick, that Owens was moved up to the sidelines a good space of time back. Here's Roach. Just 2 points in it, 8-6. Canterbury leading. That's Gale. Sends Peter Mortimer back to his own 10-metre line. Here's Potter. And tidied up there by Billy Kane and Gary Schofield. Mortimer to his brother Peter. They're out to the 22 line. Steve gaining another 10 metres. Replacement going on in the shape of John Owens. And David Brooks is the man to come off. Terry Lamb. Hagen. Chris Mortimer. Davidson. And having Pearce off the field in particular is going to, I would think, nullify the Balmain attack. As Gary Jack, who's been their strongest weapon in that department, gives it to Bridge.
Well, the man they'll be looking to now is, of course, Scott Gale. He's a tremendous ball runner. He's been doing a lot of organisation, catching and passing in this match, but now with Wayne Pearce, one of their main attacking spearheads off the field, he's got to take the bit between his teeth and do something himself, the young halfback Gale.
Conlan. 25 is Bill Kane. How do you say it, Graeme?
Well, my sentiments exactly. The bit between the teeth, I would think, for Scotty Gale is to take a leaf out of Stevie Mortimer's book. Mortimer's really driving this Canterbury side, and he's had a remarkable hand in turning this game right round. I think Gale's got to do exactly what Mortimer's been doing. Get to dummy half and start trying to pick out these tired forwards and start chipping and running from dummy half himself.
There's Peter Mortimer coming out just a couple of metres into the field of play. This is Potter. Peter Mortimer again. Farah. Conlan went up too fast on him. Farah cut down from behind by a Gary Bridge tackle. It's a penalty to Canterbury. The Canterbury players trying to support Andrew Farah was apparently held back out of the play. You're not going to see it on that shot, but there's the player on his backside, Greg Mullane. Tackle count at the moment, 15 for Balmain, 12 for Canterbury. In the first half, the missed tackle count was 11 for Canterbury and 8 for Balmain. So all of that's turned around, hasn't it? The match very much played in two halves. Balmain Well, you couldn't put enough on them at half-time. The only question mark was that breeze. But it's been more than the breeze that has aided this Canterbury resurgence. Mortimer and Lamb have used the wind to great advantage. But there's been some spark in the attack, as Bill said, particularly with the thrusting into the game of Michael Hagan. This is Gale. #21 is John Owens. Roach wide for Schofield. Just 10 minutes to go. And still no change. 8-6 to Canterbury. Loose ball. Interesting to see how he rules here. He's ruled that it went backwards. 5 tackles gone for Balmain. Gary Bridge. Peter Mortimer back there with Michael Potter. Potter comes back. Good tackle by Kevin Hunter. Peter Mortimer. Metres out from the Canterbury line as we get the message from our floor managers that there's concern in the Balmain room for Wayne Pearce. Apparently there's a stretcher being called for. Graeme is heading to the Balmain room as I speak. Here's Gary Jack. Humphreys is coming out for Balmain in jumper number 14.
Good names are achieved.
Those are the dice for Balmain as Graeme gets some update information on Wayne Pearce.
Well, as Wayne called it to me as he was walking off, Ray, it was correct. He received an injury to his good eye. He's received he cut the finger in the eye. And just after speaking to the Balmain doctor, it looks as though it might be a recurrence of that very, very bad injury he had, except this time in his other eye.
Oh, geez, what rotten luck. And here's a penalty to Balmain. Kick for touch, finding it about 7 metres into Canterbury's area. There's been absolutely nothing between Balmain and Canterbury right through the year. Today's been no exception. There's 2 points in it in that first round match. Here's Benny Elias.
This has been a game where there have been very few scoring periods. Balmain did all of their scoring in the opening minutes of the first half, and Canterbury did all of theirs in the opening minutes of the second half.
Stephen Humphreys putting it down. I thought it was a knock-on. Jack picked it up. Referee said play on. Steve Mortimer's tackled. 2 metres out from his own line. And the referee again calls timeout. This was Gary Jack in full flight. Kicked into the centre of the ground. Steve Mortimer's there to take it. Let's have a look at what comes next. Looks like he got a knee in the back of the head. Canterbury 8, Balmain 6. Potter. Gillespie. Langmack turning it inside. Knocked on by Canterbury. Balmain have got it. He played the advantage. Now the Balmain side mounting probably their last attacking raid on the Canterbury line. Played by Schofield. It's with Roach. Roach to the 22 line.
Of course, here's a bit of pressure for the referee now. Checking his 5. He'll have to check his markers. And a penalty, of course, to Balmain will be almost certainly a draw. With Conlan in your side, Jack's gone without it. And it's a knock-on, so it's going to be a scrum. For his feet of the scrum. Correct me if I'm wrong, is that the first penalty for an incorrect feet in the match? Yes, it is. Last 5 minutes of the match, and we find the first half-back in the game penalised for an incorrect feed.
Some of the Canterbury players took a bit of a risk, really. They were throwing the ball away. Elias looked like he was going to take a quick tap, but had the referee penalised him for that, of course, Conlan could have had a shot for goal.
So Balmain with a very good chance here. Have they got enough left, though?
Well, they're looking to spread the ball out wide, and Gary Jack's looming out there looking for a space.
It's with Russ Gardner. 15 metres out from the line. I'd be coming back the blind because there's a few players out there. Oh, he's given a penalty. It's a penalty to Balmain and a chance for Ross Conlan to draw this match.
Well, this is a pressure kick if you've ever seen one. Under normal circumstances, Ross Conlan, 9 out of 10 he'd kick these, but pressure at the Sydney Cricket Ground, any goal kicker, it'd only be 50-50.
And in my opinion, it's on his wrong side. 1 out of 3 for Conlan.
It's just impossible to block out the fact that there's a huge crowd here, you're playing on this arena, there are other players talking to you, and the importance of the match.
There'll be no team that Ross Conlan would like to kick a goal like this against outside of Canterbury. There's his kick, and he's got it! Ross Conlan has drawn the match at 8 points all! 8 points all! Balmain and Canterbury off the boot of Ross Conlan. And there's the face of Warren Ryan. So Penrith and Manly, they've done it already. Now it looks almost inevitable that Balmain and Canterbury will be forced to go the extra 20 minutes.
And watch out for the field goals, because there'll be plenty of them flying about.
Scott Gale getting it outside the 22. There's the sign on the Diamond Vision screen. And there it is. The siren has sounded. The turnaround is on. The final score after 80 minutes, 8 all. But we've got 20 minutes now to go. Take stock, Graeme, of replacements used. It's very important at this stage.
Well, that turned out the same way last Tuesday night in that playoff, the 5th spot. Balmain, of course, have used up 3 of their replacements, 1 up their sleeve. Canterbury just the 2. And searching through the Canterbury's reserves bench, you might be searching for a ball player like Darryl Brayman to break this game up.
Here's Terry Lamb taking play back down to the Balmain 22. Frank Stanton. Looks like Frank has gone to the room. He's either contemplating using the other reserve, or he might have been just double-checking on the health of Wayne Pearce.
He might have gone for the doctor for himself.
Billy Johnston to play it. Canterbury are setting themselves up for the drop attempt. Here it comes. Off the boot of Terry Lamb. It looked okay off the boot, but the referee has ruled no goal. And so it comes out for the 22-place kick to restart. 8 points all, no change. We're in extra time. The first 10 of 2 10s. Frank Stanton has come down onto the playing area, or coming down to the fringe of the playing area, I should say. Match comment, Graeme Hughes.
Well, Ray, important piece about that field goal attempt by Canterbury. They did it very, very well. They set themselves up trying to get as close to those uprights as possible. But also they had Stevie Mortimer planted on the other side of the ruck. Lamb was unmarked, but that's the way to do it. They can then pick and choose if there's pressure on just the one kicker.
Scott Gale kicking down into the corner where Michael Potter's going to have to take it back. And Potter will play it 11 metres out from his own line. Frank Stanton talking to his runners. Greg Mullane, driving tackle over the top from Kane. Hardwick was underneath. Darryl Bowman being sent out on another rescue mission. Oh, Lamb has put it down. John Owens comes up with the ball. Benny Elias is tackled 10 metres out from the Canterbury line. Dummy half runs with it. Billy Kane. Roman going on in a moment. It's come away from Elias and gone out to Gale. Gale to Owens. Owens away to Gardner. And Gardner is tackled about 15 metres out from the Canterbury line.
Canterbury let Balmain back into this match by giving away a penalty for being inside the 5. They're in a similar position now at the other end of the field, and they'll have to watch that area of their game.
There's Gary Jack now. Still about 15 metres out. Played back now to Elias and away for Gary Schofield. Shapes the kick, passes to Humphrey. He backs him up and no, it's a forward pass. The referee has ruled a forward pass. Frank Stanton's head went down as the crowd went up. Gary Schofield shaped a kick, then passed, came around. I'm not sure which ball he ruled as forward. I fancy it was the last one from Humphreys to Schofield. But Schofield had no doubts that it was a fair try. So Gillespie's gone off and Broman is on in 26. There goes Gillespie from the field as Canterbury stacked the blind side. Paul Langmack.
Both these teams are very lucky that they've got experienced coaches, because the coach can also feel the pinch in these clutch situations and make a decision that isn't the correct one. But both of these men have been to grand finals before. They know what it's all about. They'll keep their cool and make the right decisions.
Mortimer. Jerry Lamb was looking for a runner on his outside. Balmain with the turnover. Gale, Gardner, Schofield. This is Kane. Spreading it to Gardner. They've got the numbers, Balmain. The ball is floated out to Humphreys and he puts it down.
The genius of Alan Alda gives you The Four Seasons, the heartwarming comedy event starring Carol Burnett, Rita Moreno, Jack Weston and Bess Armstrong. Premiering tonight on 10, sponsored by Toyota.
Rice Brothers Electrifying Collection. National. Phillips. Shaw.
Canterbury scrum win. Steve Mortimer tackled by Scott Gale. Michael Hagan, tackled by Gary Schofield. Broman. Johnston. Canterbury setting themselves up for it. Drop goal kickers galore. Lamb's kick came off a Balmain player. It'll be 6 more tackles. I don't know whether Gary Jack knows. Yes, he does. And Jack is able to get back into the field of play. It's a good effort by Jack. This is Humphreys. Benny Elias. Roach. Strong from start to finish, Roach. Give or take a couple of stupid mistakes that he made. Rush of blood to the head a couple of times for Roachy, but other than that, he's played very strongly. Gale's kick. Potter comes back. Potter almost running right through them, but Kane is there to make the tackle. Now it's Steve Mortimer. His brother Peter. This is Kelly. Benny Elias went in to make the tackle. He's hurt himself. This is Broman. Steve Mortimer. Back inside for Paul Langmack. Outside for Terry Lamb. Inside for Greg Mullane. Further inside for Hagan. It's gonna... No, it's not. That's still play on, though. Conlan's got the ball for Balmain. Well, that was a try-saving, maybe a match-saving tackle by Scott Gale. What a great tackle by Scotty Gale. I thought Hagan was under the uprights for sure and for certain.
Hagan's initial reaction when he broke the line was to look for support. He didn't have any. Then he decided to put the ears back and to go for the try line. He'd left it a fraction too late. That gave Gale the opportunity that he needed to pick him up because Scott Gale's got plenty of pace.
Here's Jack. Davidson. And Jack's had an enormous game. Gale kicks now. Down to Potter.
This might sound a bit premature, but the one thing I do hope, Ray, is that we get a result in this extra 10 minutes each way.
So do I.
Because if either of these sides, well, one of them is going to come out of the replay a winner and one a loser, but it would seriously hamper their chances next weekend.
Folks, to the halfway. Greg Mullane's with him. Mullane, oh, the ball has gone forward and Gale is back there to cover it up again. Well, Canterbury have opened Balmain up twice.
But as Balmain are showing signs of wilting under pressure in defence, but Canterbury Bankstown are also suffering. They've been under pressure in attack on a couple of occasions. They've had some try-scoring opportunities, but they've made the wrong decisions.
Here's Gardner, back for Elias. Wide ball for Schofield. On to Stephen Humphreys. Peter Mortimer, he won't make any mistakes in defence, and he takes young Humphreys to ground. It's with Benny Elias. As he kicks ahead, we take a match comment from Graeme Hughes.
Well, Ray, that may well have been the match-winning try for Canterbury, but on that occasion, Steve Folkes did it all correct. He set himself with the fullback. He knew he had the guy that had the pace to make it underneath those uprights in Stevie Mortimer. But Greg Mullane thought the pass was headed for him and knocked that ball forward. That was going straight to Mortimer's arms.
Here's Potter. Some of these players can hardly lift their feet up at the moment. Billy Johnston, there's the end of the first 10. So they come around again, and this time Canterbury will have the breeze. In the event of a draw, a replay will be held next Tuesday at the Sydney Cricket Ground at 7:30. 8-all the score here at the moment as we go round for the final 10. Stanton screaming messages out through John Davidson, telling him to send it onwards. Canterbury have got the breeze in the second set of 10.
Well, the tactics of both sides are obvious. Canterbury will try and work the ball down for a couple of tackles and then drive the ball downfield. Try to get the ball back and maybe kick a field goal. Conversely, Balmain will be looking to pin Canterbury here. They'll try to get the ball back and do a similar tactic, and that'll be to look for the field goal. If something else opens up a little bit wide, and make the most of that opportunity.
Conlan. Well refereed, even though Conlan doesn't agree. See it again. Looking at that, maybe Conlan had good reason to complain. Well, I must admit, when I looked at it first, just like Michael Stone, I thought a dead set came off Conlan. The replay, well, it suggests otherwise. Penalty to Canterbury. Feet across. Mortimer. Balmain. Langmack. Peter Mortimer. Michael Potter. Potter tackle just outside the Balmain 22. Across to Terry Lamb. Steve Mortimer. Now it's with Michael Hagan. This man is Chris Mortimer. He's up to the 22, and Benny Elias makes the tackle.
But Canterbury have got the ball in the end of the field that they needed.
Terry Lamb jigs and goes back in towards the ruck area. It's with Chris Mortimer, Billy Johnston, Darryl Broman. Broman stands, looks to unload, can't. That's 5 gone. 22 metres out. Michael Hagan to Steve Mortimer. The drop goal is going to come down well short, and it's with Gary Jack. And Jack has tackled 15 metres out from his own line. Roach. Seven and a quarter minutes of time to go. Benny Elias. Russ Gardner. Ross Conlan. Play about 25 metres out from the Balmain line. Terry Lamb had the football, and he appealed to the referee, but then was told to give the ball back. And, Farah nearly knocking on. Big Andrew Farah thrashing his way back to the 32-metre point. What a finish this is, and of course, sitting in the wings, I suppose, Parramatta mainly, and then St George probably chuckling to themselves that if these two have to come around again on Tuesday night, it'll be highly beneficial for them. Peter Kelly to play it, 12 metres out from the uprights, through the hands of 2 players. Michael Hagan turns it back into Steve Mortimer, and he's tackled there by John Owens. Now it comes away to Terry Lamb. He goes for it. A charge down by Balmain. Gary Jack again is there to clean it up, and he's tackled by Terry Lamb. Well, Canterbury have had all the good fortune as far as attempts are concerned. I think you'll find that's their 4th attempt at drop goal. Balmain have yet to get a shot in. They're bogging down at their own end of the paddock. Mike Marquito is tackled. Playing it back to Benny Elias. This is Steve Roach now. Roach is 15 metres out from his own line. A strong performance by Roach. Gale looking for an opening, finding Ross Conlan, and Conlan kicks. I'm not sure about the intelligence behind it, but it's been fielded by Humphreys, given to Schofield. Schofield is tackled on the 5th tackle, and he'll play it 12 metres on his own side of the halfway. Back to Benny Elias, and all he can think of is, let's get out of here. Puts it down into the Canterbury Bankstown 10-metre zone. Scott Gale proceeds down the field. This is Andrew Farah, who's tackled inside his own quarter-way line. Running with the ball is Stephen Foakes now. So Canterbury have the job of running it out from their own quarter.
And we've just entered that last 5 minutes. 5 to go.
Steve Mortimer, the little kick, the chase, the recover, and here's a great chance for Canterbury. Terry Lamb has been caught by Ross Conlan. 20 metres from the line, 25 metres from victory. Now it's Canterbury piling it on. This man is Folks. Folks is tackled 22 metres out from the Balmain line. Players can hardly lift their feet out there. Hagan with the ball. Jinxon turns it back. No, he doesn't. He holds it up, and Kane is the tackler. Canterbury again setting themselves for a drop goal off Stephen Folks, but this one has again been ruled wide, and it'll come out to the 22 for the restart, and a Balmain player has collapsed through exhaustion. Benny Elias, he's getting up now, but there he is on his feet, the little Balmain hooker. But these fresh men for Balmain, they've done a sterling job. John Owens and Billy Kane, they've taken a hell of a lot of the weight off some of the players, particularly in the extra time. Garton, he'll play the ball now. Inside the last 5, looking very much like we're coming back here on Tuesday night. Benny Elias away from dummy half, up to the halfway line. Don't be surprised if you see an attempted drop goal from a long way out in this match from Balmain. This is John Owens passing recklessly and picked up by Gary Schofield. 5 tackles gone for the Tigers. It's away to Gary Jack. Jack kicks, he runs himself to put everybody on side as he goes through. It's Andrew Farrer, tackled by Jack Lowe and by Davidson High. Peter Mortimer. Now it's Paul Langmack. Langmack about 25 metres out from the Balmain line. Daryl Broman. Hagan to play the ball. Steve Mortimer. Steve Folks. Lamb wide again, and back to the 22 for the restart by Balmain. Benny Elias receiving attention. John Owens. Billy Kane. Scott Gale kicking. Potter going across with Peter Mortimer. Coming out towards the 32-metre line. Potter. Farrer to the halfway line. Got rid of Ross Conlan. He's got support on the inside. He's still going. Andrew Farrer scores. Andrew Farrer scores for Canterbury Bankstown. Oh boy. Andrew Farrer with a sensational game buster. And Frank Stanton heads for the dressing rooms. Look at the jubilation with these Canterbury players. Well, what a blockbusting performance by Andrew Farrer.
Well, football in these situations is about complete joy or complete disappointment, and here you'll see a demonstration of both. Michael Potter popped up a good pass to Andrew Farrer. He'd put himself into a space, but he had to beat firstly a tackle by Conlan. He saw the cover defence coming across from the side. He never realised that John Davidson was behind him, and that was a vital tackle. Davidson missed it. Farrer looked inside, didn't need support, and over he goes for the match winner.
Canterbury Bankstown now leading by 12 points to 8, and here's the try again on replay. But Andrew Farrer, he basically won the match single-handedly in the final analysis. great individual try by Andrew Farrer. So Terry Lamb can take his time. Two from two for Terry Lamb. Beautiful kick by Lamb from the sideline. Lamb converts the Farrer try, and the siren has sounded. Canterbury Bankstown 14. But the match deadlocked until the last 60 seconds. So Canterbury to play St George, Balmain to play Parramatta. What a sensational match. What an incredible finish. Canterbury's tries, Terry Lamb, Andrew Farrer. Lamb, 3 goals. Schofield a try for Balmain, and Conlan 2 goals.
Andrew, how do you feel? Oh, it's not even come down to earth yet.
Can you talk us through that last try in those dying seconds?
Well, I didn't realise, I think it was Davidson was right on my tail, and I was going to put it inside to Greg Mullane or Terry Lamb, and then when Davidson fell off me, Jack was probably worried about the blokes inside more than me, I think, and then once I sort of got past him, I thought I could get there.
You didn't want to go through Tuesday night?
No, today was bad enough.
Well played. Okay, a very tired Canterbury matchman, Andrew Farrer. Let's go straight to our man of the match with Billy Anderson.
In a game where both sets of players played themselves to an absolute standstill, our man of the match today is the Canterbury Bankstown halfback and captain Steve Mortimer. Congratulations, Steve. A game where Canterbury Bankstown looked shot to pieces at half-time, but you're able to fight your way back for yet another chance.
Yes, I'm very proud of the boys. Both sides, I think, played well, and it was a very, very stiff win that first half, and couldn't really see it out there, but it was very hard that first half, and I waited the second half to capitalise on it. But I'm very proud of the boys.
What were your thoughts when the match went into extra time?
Hey, probably 10 years ago, I'd say, I can handle Tuesday night, but not now, so... No, we just waited our time, and we bombed a few chances, but I think justice prevailed, and Andrew Farrer scored a great solo try down the sideline.
Can Canterbury go on with it from here?
Well, mate, we are the defending premiers. We're very, very proud of that title. I'm sure we can. We've got the right character, we've got the right club, and we'll just give it our best shot against St George. They're a great side.
Once again, for taking today's Man of the Match award, you'll receive the NEC Game Ball Trophy and also a cheque for $500 from NEC.
Thanks very much to Channel 10, and particularly thanks very much to NEC. I think that's great.
Frank, to my mind, that scoreline at half-time was where it was won and lost. I thought it should have been a lot more in favour of the Tigers.
Yes, we had a few chances there that we didn't take in the first half, and maybe had we, if we would have come off without the extra time, and certainly as winners. I personally was disappointed straight after half-time too. I think we lost that half a yard of urgency that was present in our game before half-time, and that allowed Canterbury to get on the roll, and they scored the try to hit the lead. However, you can't put old heads on young shoulders, and once again it's another learning experience for us, and we'll lick our wounds and turn up next week.
Yeah, another turning point also, Wayne Pearce. Is there any further news?
Yes, well, Wayne's in the Sydney Eye Hospital, and if you can say there's good news about that situation, 90% of his retina has been cleared, but there's another doubt about the other 10%. And they've kept him in, and he'll be kept in a hospital for 5 days for observation, and he's not allowed visitors for 1 or 2 of those days. And, it's not, at this stage, it doesn't appear to be as bad as the previous one he had, but still it was a blow.
Warren, a victory to the Bulldogs in extra time. I hope you're not going to give me one of those "it was never in doubt" quotes.
No, I wouldn't do that. I bit my nails down to the elbow, and I think everybody else in the Bulldog camp did too. So it was one thing I would like to say is that we played dreadfully in the first half, and down 6-0, I think it showed a lot of ability to come back and win it from there. And also we created some chances that could well have been tries and bombed them. So it was a bit of a scrambling game from our point of view, but I thought it was a great effort by the Blokes to win it from behind.
So Steve Mortimer takes out the man of the match, and there were several good performances, I'm sure you'd agree, on both sides of the fence.